I do, buckaroos, as I scramble to get this angle right here. Bear with me. I have done a beer whisper, so I've got two I'm working with here right now. I've got the Kinsale Stout and the Bushmills 16 single malt whiskey. There's a reason I am pairing them both, and I'll tell you about it here in just a second, as soon as I get everything fixed here. The Kinsale Foreign Extra Stout from Urban Chestnut. It's one of my favorite American craft versions of the classic Irish style. 7%, 27 IBUs. 27 IBUs, a little light for the stub. I'm going to let them get away with it. The hops are Goldings and Fuggles. Uh, or they say Fuggle. I've always said Fuggles. Malts are Pale Ale, Mild Ale, Caramel, Roasted Malt, and Roasted Barley. I'm kind of surprised they're not using black barley here, but hey, it's their beer. 7%, 27. And I want to come over here and read a little bit from this website, from the, oh shoot, it went away on me. From the Bushmills website. Single malt whiskey, 16-year-old, is aged for 16 years. Wow, that was close. In a combination of Oloroso sherry and bourbon seasoned cask, then matured for several months in port wine barrels. They tell you to look for distinct notes of juicy fruits, nuts, and spices, a hint of ruby redness, whatever ruby redness tastes like, right? Fruits, nuts, and spice. Enjoy neat or over ice. I'm just doing her neat, my friends. I may have some on the rocks just because they say to drink it on the rocks, just to try it one time, but I've always drank this neat, to be honest with you. So, I didn't want to pair these two, though, because I had an Irish whiskey, an Irish style beer, and I like comparing a stout with a whiskey like this. I haven't had the 16 in quite some time. I'm going to take a little drink of this beer, and I'm going to get to some of that explanation. Oh, gosh. This is new to cans. Last time I had this, it was in a mixed pack for bottles, but I just found it in a 4-pack cans, and I had to pick it up because I loved it when I had it last year. Nice roasted barley on the nose. Oh, it's gorgeous. And it's not a beer that you want to freeze the bejeebers out of. You know what I mean? I mean, I've got this warmed up a little bit. You probably want to have it at about 50, 55 degrees, to be honest with you. That's when it's really going to give you the most. Oh, it's just gorgeous. It really is. Yeah, it's just a great big Irish stout is what it is. And I'm pairing it with some whiskey here. I got my kind of Guinness backdrop here. I like that, don't you? I found this picture, so I like that. That's going to want to use that for my backdrop, by God. I like to be in that pub. I digress. Oh. You do feel some fruits on the nose. I'm getting some dark fruits. There's this kind of like fruitcake-like feel about it, if that makes any sense to you, like candied fruits. Like candied fig and date. Toasted walnut. Just pulling descriptors out my keister. Tom, are you shitting us? I wouldn't shit you. I'm gonna have a drink. How about that? I got exactly an ounce and a half in this glass here. Ounce and a half in this nose and glass. So I started telling the story as I started the video, but then I went off on something else. So I first purchased this back in 1997, 20 years ago, when I first moved to Las Cruces, New Mexico. I was working for a retail giant at the time, let's just say, and I was transferred out there from Springfield, Missouri. So I had a little bonus, a little money. I'd never been able to purchase a whiskey this pricey before. And at the time, it was $65. $65 in 1997. Picture that. You price it now, and as everything else has gone way up, it hasn't gone up that much. I mean, I've seen it anywhere between $72 and $76 retail before tax. So it's actually not much more than I bought it 20 years ago. If you're talking about a $6 difference, you know what I mean? That ain't much. However, I did get a bargain on this, including tax. It was $70. So I probably paid less for this today, or when I bought it, for $70 than I paid in 1997 for that bottle that was 65 plus tax. But So anyway, that's why I purchased it again. I also purchased a bottle of this. My second purchase of this product was when Seamus was born. And then I had once we got him home, and I had a couple shots I shared with some friends, and then when he was baptized, I had a few shots shared with some more friends, and eventually got drank over the years. But anyway, I have actually. I'm going a long way around the barn to tell you I haven't bought it since. Um, we lost Seamus in 2013 to leukemia. And this is the first time I've been able to purchase this in many years, so I decided I was going to do it this year, especially when I got that kind of bargain on it. So it's my first revisit of it in many years. It is just beautiful. I mean, it's gorgeous. I mean, it's, it's just gorgeous, man. I was going to use a colorful metaphor there, but I decided to refrain from my usual. Oh, man. So I'm going to have a drink of this stout now. I just thought these two would pair well together, so I thought, well, I'm going to have a shot, a little bit of this. Anyways, it's beautiful. So it is a Thanksgiving weekend as I do this video. I hope you all having a good one. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving day. Mine was nice. My daughter had us over. Fortunately, she was not feeling her best, so her husband kind of did most of the cooking. We tried to get her to just cancel the whole thing, but he insisted on at least that portion. So anyway, he did the turkey and most of the other stuff. My wife was going to contribute some stuff, but she wasn't doing real well either. So I ended up. She did make a custard pie that she brought over though. Uh, I I contributed the gravy. I made the gravy. He doesn't like to do gravy, and I made. I got to tell you, I mean, I don't usually. Well, sometimes I do. Kind of hate to pat myself on the back. My gravy was freaking phenomenal, man. It was some gravy, man. I did the gravy. I did the dressing, and I also did some cream peas, which is a favorite of my daughter. So, gosh, can you see how easy that was to drink? I mean, they say spice, fruits, nuts. Yeah, pretty much. What else am I getting? Try to put a finer point on it. Yeah, I mentioned toasted walnuts earlier. I'm going to stick with that. I mentioned candied fruits. Yeah, sure, why the hell not? Date fig, in particular, the fruits I'm getting. Maybe even some cherry in there. I'm also feeling some, like I said, the toasted walnuts for a spice. Um, hmm. A lot of whiskey, a lot of whiskeys that are aged in Missouri white oak. You pull out a lot of cinnamon. This is aged in various barrels, but I am feeling some spice, but I'm not feeling that cinnamon. Was what I was trying to get to. Kind of nutmeg. Nutmeg. That's what I'm getting. Nutmeg. By golly, that's nutmeg. And I was trying to decipher that because I was thinking, oh, it's not cinnamon. Sometimes I get allspice, but I wasn't feeling allspice. Wasn't sure what I was getting. I was getting some damn nutmeg. I shit you not. Anyway, if I need to go any longer, probably not. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, uh, prolific beer drinker, beer evangelist, Purveyor of Wisdom, man. Frisky biscuits. All around good guy. You all have a good one. Let's see if I can find the button here. Whoa, that was close.